The Honorable George C. Paris is presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
You may be seated. Okay. Are there any preliminary matters, gentlemen, or anything we need to cover? Okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take this time to welcome you to the Lake County Circuit Court. My name is George Paris, and I am the presiding judge. Forgive me for reading, but there are certain points I must cover that I want to be sure that I do. How many of you have been jurors before? Okay. The trial you are attending has been called by the court, and you will be acting as part of the judicial branch of our constitutional government. For some of you, this will be the first time you have been called to this important service. It is a constitutionally guaranteed right of every citizen to have the facts concerning his or her alleged claim and defense heard, weighed, considered, and determined by a jury of his or her peers. It is important to the plaintiff and to the defendant that you willingly and without reservation determine to do your duty as jurors in accord with the highest and truest sense of obligation and responsibility. You will receive $20 if you appear and $40 if you are selected as a juror, and your travel expense at the rate of 40 cents per mile. At the conclusion of the trial, a list will be prepared and submitted to the county auditor. You should receive your check soon after the trial is ended. In order that you know the court personnel with whom you will be working and their respective duties, the court reporter is Mr. Paul Georgie, bailiff is Michael Shirelli, and Ron Williams is our other bailiff. Everything that's said in the courtroom is being transcribed, including the statements that I am now taking. The questions that you will be asked and their answers and all other matters in this case will be monitored by Mr. Georgie, who is the keeper of the machine and the exhibits. I've introduced the bailiffs to you. They enforce the court orders and have the charge of the jury while it is away from the courtroom. If you desire at any time to ask about any matters about your personal welfare apart from the case that is being tried, you should ask one of the bailiffs who will handle the matter. Some of you may need statements verifying your services as jurors for your employers. The bailiff will furnish forms to you as needed. At this point, I would like to tell you that we expect this trial to last 2 days. Is that correct, gentlemen? I will generally describe the procedure by which some of you will be selected for actual service as jury members of this case. All of you will be asked to take an affirmation that your answers will be truthful. I will ask a number of questions to all of you as a group. If any of you desire to answer yes to any of these questions, you should raise your hand at the time the question is asked. After I have finished, the lawyers for the parties will question you. These questions are not supposed to be offensive, nosy, personal, or prying. They are necessary to make sure that a jury should be made up of people who can fairly and impartially carry out their responsibilities. You understand any person having knowledge of the case or of the parties might not be able to be fair and impartial. Any of you may be excused. You should not be offended if you are excused for no apparent reason. Each lawyer has a certain amount of what we call strikes. And at this time, it is necessary for me to administer the oath. Will all of you stand and raise your right hand and be sworn or affirmed? Do you swear or affirm that you will honestly answer any questions asked of you during jury selection? You may be seated. Is there anyone who would have any problems with sitting on the jury, such as scheduled vacations, babysitters for the children, a ride to the courthouse, a hearing or eyesight problem or condition, language difficulty, or anything that would you would like to bring to my attention? All right, Ron. Sam, give me your juror number.
It's C20.
Okay. And?
I have a vacation scheduled for the week tomorrow, and I didn't actually know the vacation.
Okay. Counsel?
Objection.
All right, man, we're going to excuse you. Cross her off the list. What was her number?
C20.
All right, mark her off.
I got it.
Okay, you got it. All right. Next, yes, ma'am.
Difficulty hearing, people are not speaking out loudly in the same
Were you able to hear me?
most.
Okay. Gentlemen,
Number are we talking about?
what number is she? What number are you, ma'am?
19.
Well, I mean, you don't have any other problem than a possible hearing problem?
Correct.
Well, why don't we seat her and see if she has a hearing? Because you'll be sitting in the jury box, which is a lot closer, and we have if you have a problem when you're there, let us know. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
103. I have a court hearing Thursday morning at 10:30
Oh, we'll be done by Thursday, I'm sure. This trial's only expected to last 2 days. If it runs into Wednesday, then I'm sure it'll be done by Wednesday noon.
18.
Yes.
I'm leaving for college soon.
Well, how soon?
I'm not positive, but
You think what?
I think I'm going to
You know who? She's what?
Friends with my sons, Your Honor.
Well, no. Do you think you could be impartial?
Your Honor, I moved to Catherine's this on the fact that she's pregnant with Mr. Davis.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, man, you're excused.
Judge, can we have our ID?
What's your ID? What's your number, ma'am?
18.
18.
Thank you.
Is that all?
What else? Your number.
Number C46. I have a vacation for tomorrow. I have a class today.
What did he say? You have a vacation scheduled tomorrow?
Vacation scheduled for tomorrow. I have a this for the last 2 days.
What about the last 2 days? What are,
No, I'm saying I didn't know that the trial would take 2 days.
okay. All right, you're excused.
Thursday 70.
Mhm.
Currently, sole caretaker of my mother, which is legally blind in both eyes, and she's home alone. And it was just an emergency request Thursday, so I didn't feel like I could be here 2 days or keep my mind on things there.
Okay. All right, we're sporadic. Okay, you're excused, sir.
Anybody else?
Okay.